everyone. The Crime Cafe is back for its third season. Yay!
Yay!
This is your podcasting source of great crime, suspense, and thriller writing. And I'm Debbie Mack. I write crime fiction, and I'm your host. Just so you know, the Crime Cafe 9-book set will be available all of July on sale on Amazon and Smashwords for 99 cents. That's 9 novels for 99 cents, less than $1. So I think that's a fantastic deal, and you should jump on that. Having said that, you can find the links for the Crime Cafe 9-book set on my website, debbiemack.com. That's DEBBI.com, mac.com. I can't spell my name anymore. Oh, well. Today I have with me an awesome crime writer who really digs into research and who is so busy on the internet that I'm amazed. So I shall turn it over now to Sue Coletta. Sue Coletta, good to have you on, Sue. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for inviting me, Debbie.
Well, it's wonderful to have you on. And I see you so often on your blog putting up things about crime research and forensics and all this stuff that crime writers want to know about, that it's fascinating. You have 2 series now, don't you?
I do, yes.
And
I have the Mayhem series and the Grafton County series.
Right, I was going to talk about the Grafton County series first because I read the first book in that series, and it deals with a female writer who's married to a homicide detective.
Yep.
And tell me about how you decided on making that character a protagonist and going where you did with those stories.
Well, I never really know where an idea comes from. It just kind of hits me, and if it lingers and pesters me enough, then I figure it's a pretty good idea. I wanted Sage to be a crime writer because I thought a lot of people could relate to her, and I also wanted her to have a background where she could help her husband Nico in the investigation, on the side, because detectives, cops, really of all, they really do leave their work at the office, but some of them discuss it with their wives, and I wanted the marriage to have that going for them. And then next came what's the worst possible thing I could imagine happening to her, and then that was her being attacked by a serial killer and her losing her unborn son. And then 3 years later, he reemerges.
Yes, yes. Now, in the second Sage Quintano mystery or thriller book, I guess you could call them serial killer thrillers.
Yes, yeah.
Something like that. Where is Sage going? What's her journey? What do you picture as her kind of overall story arc?
For Cleaved or Marred?
Cleaved.
Oh, for Cleaved. Well, they're in a new life where the end of Marred, they're comfortable. Things are going really well. And they have a new baby, and it looks like life has finally given them everything they wanted. And then a serial killer disrupts that life in really unimaginable ways and torments Sage. He wants her dead, but nobody knows why. Certainly she doesn't know why. And So I guess the overall arc would be, she starts out, it's kind of like a backward arc, because she starts out really happy, and then as the story goes on, she gets darker, 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 and even at the end, life is really uncertain.
Hmm. Well, I think that's really interesting because for me, that's more true than a lot of these stories that end with kind of an upbeat, happy, everything is fine ending. And I like stories that end less certainly than that.
Yes,
Are you
I
the
do
same
too.
way? Uh
Yes, I'm not a big fan of happily ever after.
huh. I know. It's kind of like, when does that happen?
Right.
Uh,
Never.
yeah. And even though it's fiction and you want to reach closure, sometimes that closure is tough. It's
Yes.
not an easy closure.
I agree.
And to some extent, do those books, are they sort of like um, also an examination of marriage? I was going to say that since she's working with her husband on these things to an extent, that could reflect relationship issues too.
Absolutely. I dug deep into their marriage in Marred as well as Cleaved, because, as you may or may not know, long term marriages, couple decades, it's work.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people get taken for granted, and you always think that person's going to be there. And I really wanted to examine what would happen if one day that person wasn't there. Then what would happen? In Mart, I examined more secrets within the relationship, how they can really devastate a marriage, and Cleaved, uncertainty really rocked their world, as well as, one day, oh my God, I might not wake up to you next to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I had fun with that, really.
That's, well, everything you're saying is true. I know. The other book, the other series, when I saw the description of it, I was taken. You have a police forensic hacker by day and cat burglar by night protagonist.
Yes, Johnny Daniels.
Silence of the Lambs meets the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Readers,
years. What? Where did she
right?
come from?
A reader actually put that in a review, and I think she really nailed it.
Oh, wow.
Shawnee Daniels is very, very snarky. Very snarky.
Well, already I like her.
Yeah, I like those characters too. She she grew up on the streets, and she she met a mentor. She years ago, she ran away from abusive foster home, and she was only 15 years old. And this aging cat burglar kind of took her under his wing and protected her, and really became a father figure to her. And that's how she originally got into cat burglary. But when he passed, her life kind of spiraled out of control, and her parents, who died years and years ago, they were very close with Lieutenant Holt from the Revere Police Department. And they told him to look after her, which he never really did a good job doing until after Shawnee's mentor died. And she got in trouble for hacking a computer center that he actually had a stake in. So he gave her a job working cyber crimes unit. And that's how she ended up with both, but now she uses her skills, her cat burglary skills, kind of in a Robin Hood type way
For
to right
niceness instead
wrongs.
of evil.
Yes, right,
As
right.
Maxwell Smart used to say.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Yes. Well, that sounds fascinating.
She's a blast to write.
I'll
She
bet.
really. I wrote. I'm waiting for Blessed Mayhem to come out, the sequel. And actually, just today, I finished a crossover novel into a Susan Stoker's Kindle world using Shawnee,
Hmm.
and that was fun because you have to kind of mix fan fiction with your characters and make them fit in someone else's world. So
Yeah.
fun,
Wow.
but challenging. Yeah.
I'll bet. You've also written nonfiction books. Tell us a little about them.
I have. Since I do so much research, it's really the basis behind my blog. I like to share my research to help out other crime writers because I know so many of them hate to research.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy it. I could get lost for days in my research. So that's how my blog started. And then I took a lot of the posts that were really, really popular and made that into Crime Writers Research, the book.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have 60 Ways to Murder Your Characters. And that was just a fun project because I love thinking up ways to kill. Inventive, creative ways.
That you would never actually do.
Right, no.
For the you say up the street from me.
Right? But in fiction land, all bets are off, right? So that's how 60 Ways to Murder came to be. I thought it would be just fun. It was supposed to be 101 originally, but after 60, I had done so much research on the 60. I'm like, oh God, I'll just have a volume 2. Yeah.
Good Lord Almighty.
Right. Some of the ways I wanted to keep for myself. So yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Goodness. You have an extensive online presence, not only your blog, but you're on something called the Serial Killer Project and Forensic Science.
Yes. Those are actually through Google.
Mm-hmm.
And a cold case expert and retired Lieutenant Joe Giacalone, he started those. He teaches now at the university criminal investigations and whatnot. And he started the Serial Project as for his classmates, really. But then it kind of morphed into other things. And he asked me, since I write extensively about serial killers, if I wanted to be the communications manager. And then he started seeing all the forensics I was interested in. He asked me to be the communications manager for that too. So, yeah.
So, there you go.
There you go. I'm going to research these things anyways, so I might as well share what I find. I figure.
That's right. That's great. I think that's fantastic. You also have a blog talk radio show called Partners in Crime.
Yeah, I do. Yes. That is what my co-host is, retired homicide detective, cold case expert, Kim McGatt. And she's had an impressive career. And we originally started it as a way to feature like half true crime it's 2 hours. Mm-hmm. Half true crime and half crime fiction. and we usually invite police officers turned authors,
Hmm.
and we analyze cases, not necessarily to see where they went wrong. Most of them are cold cases, but just just to dig deep into them. Right now we're kind of veering off course and inviting other crime authors on
Hmm. I
because
was,
it's summer fun.
yeah. I was going to say, have you ever thought of inviting lawyers who work on criminal cases?
Oh, yes, we actually have. There is one that sometimes joins us for a crime chat on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
Um, and she writes too. So
Which one is this?
her name is Anne Marie Ackerman.
Anne Marie Ackerman.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Yeah.
remember that name because I had Allison Leota on Crime Cafe last
Oh,
season, and
oh.
she was great to talk to, and also
Was she a
writes
prosecutor or?
sex crimes prosecutor.
Oh, okay. Same as Anne. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we really should do that. It might be tough with her because she's in Germany. I'm not
Ah,
sure at the time. That's the one thing we have run across problem-wise is the time
time
zone.
zones. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that can be tricky. So the Twitter chat, that's
Yes,
another thing you do.
that I founded, and I founded that it's hashtag a crime chat. And I founded that as a way because over the years I've been really, really lucky to befriend so many cops, just a ton. I seem to collect them like baseball cards. But there's a lot of crime writers who don't have them. So I rounded up 7 of my favorites. And every other week, writers can tweet me any question they have, and I number them and tweet them to my team, and they give them the answer. And it's like having your own crime consult.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How did you manage to develop all of these contacts?
Through my blog, really.
Ah,
A lot of them, they either read something on my blog and shot me a message, or Gary, one of my very dear friends, Gary Rogers, I read his blog, I still do, Dying Words. And that's how we met. But all the other ones I got through my blog.
interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. You must be a time management queen with all these things going on.
Yeah.
How do you balance out life, research, writing, and all this time that you spend in actually doing all this stuff?
It's not easy. It's not. I have a fierce work ethic. I mean, I can work 17, 18 hours a day, not even think twice about it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I did that for 3 years straight with no time off. And I reached a level where I was happy. So I've kind of plateaued this last year or two just to, be able to take a breath here and there. But yeah, it all has to be. I wake up really early and I do a lot of my writing then. And then I have to just make sure that when crime chat's only an hour every other Wednesday. The Partners of Crime's 2 hours a month, so that's not bad. And everything else I just have to juggle, like I'm sure you do. I mean, yeah, we always
Absolutely.
have to have like a ton of balls in the air at one time.
That's so true. That's absolutely so true. Um, Well, I'm going to have to bring things to a close, but before we go, is there anything else you'd like to add that I haven't asked you about?
Oh, I don't think so. Maybe just give my website address,
There you go.
which is www.suecoletta, SUECOLETTA.com. And you can find me at all my haunts right through my website.
All right. Well, Sue, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks
and
for
it was
having
wonderful
me.
talking to you.
You too, Debbie.
Thanks. And till next time, I just want to remind everybody that you can get the Crime Cafe 9-book set for sale, 99 cents, on Amazon and Smashwords this month, July only. And until next time, happy reading.